Hello and welcome to What the Hey, where I'm your regular host of What the Hey, and today on What the Hey I'm once again answering yet another question. When I go to my notebook of knowledge, I see the question of, who the hey is Gordon the Big Blue Engine? Now this question was asked by Mr Sliver Eye, so hello to you and thank you very much for the question. Now, in terms of a very basic description, Gordon is a fictional character within the locomotive-themed franchise known as Thomas and Friends. One of the big things that you can know about the character of Gordon when looking at all the different types of media from the Thomas franchise is the fact that his personality and opinions of other characters within the franchise tend to impact his interactions with the different characters. To start off with some very basic facts about the character of Gordon, his actual character was created by the main creator of the Thomas series, Reverend Wilbur Awdry. And when Reverend Wilbur Awdry was creating the character of Gordon, the design aspect comes from the GNR Class A1 Pacific steam tender engines, which if you know anything about those are huge. Those specifically come from the Nigel class of steam locomotives, which are from the creator of Sir Nigel Gresley, who is a super big mechanical engineer and has had a super big impact in the locomotive industry and overall history. Now, the character history of Gordon is a little complicated because he was finished in 1920 but didn't arrive onto Sodor until 1923. And once he actually got onto Sodor, Sir Topham Hatt basically authorized him to work on the Northwestern Railway. But to go back a little bit, there are some modifications specifically with wheel tenders and removed pistons that kind of modified Gordon and kind of delayed his arrival onto Sodor. Now briefly, I'm going to kind of go into the design and technical aspects of Gordon for people who are interested in that, and actually some of it's pretty cool. In general, Gordon has a 462 configuration with 18 wheels, which as I've already said is huge and big and also kind of goes into his personality, but I'll go into that in a second. And then going into the visual aspect of Gordon, the color history is a little complicated because earlier on he was green, red, and had black and white, but that looks similar to other engines, so that pretty much got changed to the usual and recognizable red, blue, and yellow. Now this discussion section of Gordon is what I've usually recognized Gordon as, which is his personality. Which again, his general size definitely impacts his personality because for the most part, a lot of people can take away the fact that he's very boastful throughout the entire series. Which also coincides with the fact that he can be demeaning because in a lot of the material that we see Gordon in, he makes fun of smaller and weaker engines according to him. And it's a little fun because depending on the situation, Gordon can be helpful, but sometimes that's the result of being proven wrong about something, so he feels compelled to help out. Overall, Gordon is featured in a bunch of different media. A lot of it is in the shows and movies, but he's also featured in stuff like the original Railway series books, as well as various games. In terms of my general opinion, I've already kind of mentioned it, my biggest thing about Gordon is his personality. That's usually what I noticed when I was younger. Which in some cases, it was okay for Gordon to make the claims that he was making because he is super strong and super big, but then he could also realize the fact that other engines could help him, and that's just the thing I was always like, bruh, Gordon, chill out, dude. But that's essentially the answer to the question, so if you have any questions, let me know and I'll get to working on them as soon as I can. I do have a Wix website where you can kind of see what I'll be discussing throughout the rest of the year, so feel free to check that out, but that's essentially the answer to the question, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.